Chapter 21. Sebastian shook Ronan's hand hard. He coldly said, "Even though she is your daughter, she is also my wife now. I didn't even have an opinion then, but the moment we got married, she was under my care and protection. Anyone who hurts her will be held accountable." A charismatic smile appeared on Sebastian's lips. "If you recognize me as your son-in-law, I will naturally respect you as my father-in-law. But if you don't, I have no reason to obey you." You. Ronan stammered and said nothing as he pointed a shaking finger at Sebastian. Sebastian's sharp gaze landed on his face and he coldly said, "I don't want to be poked. If you want to put your finger away, I'm happy to help you remove it." In shock, Ronan quickly withdrew his hand. He knew very well Sebastian's courage and strength. "The man you chose is strange. I'm tempted to slap her hard." Ronan's tone was full of anger as he shifted his gaze to Lillian. Lillian looked at Sebastian and said, "He's my father. Can you control your temper?" "Now that my wife has spoken, I'll try to control my temper," Sebastian replied with a bit of sarcasm. While he promises he'll try, he's making it clear, when they overdo it, he doesn't care if they're his in-laws or anyone else. "Come on." Quentin stormed away in anger. "If they already have a child, why should I stay here?" A furious Lynette pulled Stephen away. Stephen glared at Sebastian and his eyes burned with anger. "Just wait, I won't miss you." Sebastian's expression filled with hatred. Even though the Harris family is one of the 4 major families in Ravenview City, they don't have much value in his eyes. Elijah looked at Sebastian and said, "Sebastian, I appreciate your help. But I have to admit, I'm disappointed with what happened. Even so, nothing will change no matter what I do. Take care of yourselves from now on." After that, Elijah went up the stairs. "Look at what you did to your grandfather," Evelyn said angrily as she raised her hand to slap Lillian in the face. But when he saw the cold smirk on Sebastian's face, he slowly lowered his hand. "Sebastian, do you think you are worthy of my son?" he asked. "In this world, no woman is inappropriate for me," Sebastian replied arrogantly. Evelyn's face turned red. In his eyes, Sebastian was just arrogant. "The old man just said that nothing will change no matter what we do, but I'm sure you understand the tradition of marriage, right?" he continued. "Do you mean dowry?" Sebastian seemed unsure. "Right." Evelyn nodded. "That's easy. Tell me, how much do you want?" Sebastian asked casually. "I know you're worth 10 million. But that's our family's money. Even if I ask you for more, you won't come out with anything. So I'll only ask you for 10 million. However, the man my daughter will marry must be someone who can take care of her and support her in life and career. If you can do these 2 things, I will accept you as my son-in-law." "I can do even that," Sebastian declared. "That's just words. How about we make a bet? You know our Smith Group is currently under Lillian's management and she's been talking to the Shadow Tiger Group recently." After a moment's pause, he declared, "Once you manage to sign the deal, I will believe what you say. But if you fail, you need to divorce Lillian. Then," he added, "and Lillian, you must abort the child." "Mom, you know Mr. Miller is the owner of the Shadow Tiger Group and he tried to kill Sebastian yesterday. It's like hanging if you send him there to talk," Lillian complained angrily. "That's not my problem. If he can do it, he will succeed. If not, he's worthless." "I won't accept a worthless son-in-law," Evelyn answered stubbornly. "All right, I'll accept the bet." Sebastian agreed without hesitation and thought their conditions were very simple. "Don't involve me in your opinion." "I will not abort the child," Lillian answered. Even though she was shocked by her sudden pregnancy, she couldn't kill her own child. "Next time we'll talk about the child. But if he fails, you have to divorce immediately." "I'll just give you 5 days," said Evelyn. Chapter 22. You shouldn't have agreed to my mother's deal. Lillian said as she pulled Sebastian out of the living room. I'm your wife now. Why don't you trust me? Sebastian asked with a playful smile. If Miss Green didn't help you yesterday, Mr. Miller wouldn't let you go. It's too dangerous for you to negotiate with him. I'll take care of it. You don't have to worry about it, Lillian said. Those people from Shadow Tiger are dangerous, and you know that better than I do. It's too dangerous if you go to them. Sebastian wouldn't let him try. When he's put in danger, it's going to be bad. Lillian also knew the danger. During his negotiation with Andrew's son, he was a Drinoga. Fortunately, he managed to escape and made it to Sebastian's room. Why don't you give up the tax? He asked. Are you worried about me? Sebastian asked with a smile. Lillian's face turned red. I just don't want our son to lose his father. Don't worry, I don't agree to what I can't do, Sebastian said complacently. To him, it was just a simple word. He founded the Supreme Nexus with 4 major legions, Lord Dracaria, Lord Frostclaw, Lord Hydra, and Lord Cyclops. Shadow Tiger is just an affiliate of the Frostclaw Legion. Alright, I'm leaving. Call me if you need anything, Sebastian said as he left the Smith residence. However, Lillian did not go with him. Evelyn is not willing to be in their relationship until she gets the Shadow Tiger Group contract. He could have forced Lillian along, but he chose not to. Especially since they will also be family. If it wasn't necessary, he didn't want to ruin their relationship. And then he'll get the contract, so he doesn't need to rush at that point. Back at the Phoenix Corporation, Sebastian calls Natalie. What will you order, Mr. Wilder? Natalie asked politely. Tell Andrew to hand over the Skylink project to the Smith Group, Sebastian ordered. Alright, answered Natalie. He called Andrew's number and shared Sebastian's message with him. Mr. Wilder, the Shadow Tiger Group plans to hold a bidding conference in the next 2 days. All the Smith Group has to do is join the bidding, Natalie reported. Alright, did you find any trace of the people I'm asking you to find? Sebastian asked. Natalie shook her head. Not yet. It seems that the members of the Dragonheart as Novastar organization disappeared when they arrived, and Sebastian asked. Natalie shook her head. Not yet. It seems the members of the Dragonheart a Novastar organization disappeared when they arrived in Ravenview City. Now that Ravenview City is so vast, if they really want to stay hidden, we'll have a hard time finding them. We have to stay careful. Also, is there any information on the amulets I'm asking you to find? Sebastian asked more. Finding the 2 amulets is important because they hold the key to a great treasure. So Sebastian is determined to get them no matter what. Chapter 23. Natalie shook her head again. I had people search every single antique shop in Ravenview City, but we didn't find anything. Sebastian frowned. Based on their several months of searching, the same amulet ended up in Ravenview City. Since these are antiques, there is a high chance that they will appear in antique shops. However, the fact that it hasn't happened yet is a big problem. It's possible that it's hidden in the atlas and it's harder to find. And he was more worried that the amulets might not be in Ravenview City anymore, which was even worse. Meanwhile, Lillian is at the hospital for a prenatal checkup at her mother's insistence. What? I'm not pregnant? When Lillian heard that the doctor said she was not pregnant, she was stunned. No, that's impossible. That animal has happened to me twice. You're wrong, Lillian said and shook her head loudly. I can assure you, there are no mistakes in our examination. But if you have doubts, you can seek a second opinion elsewhere. However, I believe in my assessment, said the doctor with strong confidence. But I took a pregnancy test then, Lillian protested in wonder. Pregnancy tests can be wrong. On top of that, the gynecological examination confirmed that you are still a virgin. Why did you think you were pregnant? Asked the doctor. Doc, Are you sure she's still a virgin? Evelyn asked nervously. I'm sure, the doctor nodded. Evelyn breathed a sigh of relief. At first he thought Lillian was playing a trick on him. But when he saw Lillian's confused expression, he had second thoughts. Lillian, what's going on? Evelyn asked. You don't know, Lillian whispered as she walked out of the hospital still confused. Even though things had happened to her and Sebastian twice, she couldn't understand the fact that she was still a virgin. Didn't he touch her? When they first met, he had taken drugs. Along with her menstrual cycle, she can't remember what happened. Back then, he didn't feel any pain, which was strange because he had lost his purity. Now, he understood what happened that day. Sebastian didn't touch her or take her virginity. As for the second time, it's easier to understand. Sebastian gave her a glass of water, and after she drank it, Shiva fell asleep. He has many opportunities to exploit her. If so, why didn't he do it? Did he have a disability that prevented him from doing so? This was the only explanation he could think of to understand it. It is easy to understand. Sebastian gave her a glass of water, and after she drank it, Shiva fell asleep. He has many opportunities to exploit her. If so, why didn't he do it? Did he have a disability that prevented him from doing so? This was the only light he could think of to understand it. Meanwhile, Evelyn was very happy. After leaving the hospital, he sent Lillian home alone and went to the Harris residence to share the good news with Lynette. Lynette was doubtful, but Evelyn came prepared. Not only did Akira okay the test results, he also gave Lynette the doctor's contact information so she could confirm the information herself. Despite her doubts, Lynette visited the hospital with the hospital director to make sure the doctor wouldn't lie to her. Even so, the doctor complacently assured that his test results were true. Finally, Lynette's doubts were gone.